Good day, YouTube. Let me explain the title of this video. But before that, let me say Kyle Gott is an Air Force airman, and he actually talked about one of the videos that I made a few months ago. So I want to thank Kyle Gott. I'm sure if you look up Air Force, he's the first person that comes up on YouTube. What's interesting is he has a lot of subscribers. I think it's like 80-something thousand. And I was talking to my wife last night that he has more subscribers than the United States Air Force's YouTube channel. So Kyle, if you happen to see this, thank you very much for the mention of my video. It brought a lot of traffic to my channel. Let me clarify the title of this video. It's called The Secrets of My Success. When I say clarify, I don't want it to come across as arrogant, as a look at me, I figured it out. I'm a lot older than most of the viewers. I'll be 45 years old this month. So I have a lot of experiences that I've gone through, and a lot of them maybe not good experiences that made me the person who I am. And that's what I want to share, is what's worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. I describe success in many ways. So it's not a materialistic thing. It's more about your peace of mind, my peace of mind. I think peace of mind is priceless. Very important. Another thing is health. Health is priceless. If we have health, that's a great thing, and I'm blessed to be a healthy person. It also helps that I'm proactive with my health. I'm a slim guy, so one of the things that I have a challenge is my cholesterol could be high. So I have to make sure that, because I can eat whatever I want and I don't gain weight because I'm always running, but the thing is I have to maintain my cholesterol levels and be proactive by eating fruit, by having water, by having oatmeal. So health is priceless. Another thing that I'll describe as success could be finances as well. Where are we with our finances? Are we in a good situation? And if you know my history, in my early 20s, I was a little sloppy, but I made changes, and now it's a completely different lifestyle. Another thing that I describe success is growth. I love to learn. I like growth. I like to learn new things by watching others, by reading a book, by traveling, by whatever. So growth is good. How are you? What do you describe as success in your life? I've talked about peace of mind, health, growth, finances. Sometimes it's keeping an eye on ourselves as opposed to saying, hey, the grass is greener across the street. So now what I'm going to do is I have a lot of notes that I'm going to share with you. And here it comes with age, hopefully comes wisdom, where we start doing things different. And if it works, we continue to do that. If it doesn't, we make some changes. Here I am, and I can tell you that at my stage in life, I know what I want and what I don't want. I've also learned through the years that communication is very important. Whether it's with a friend, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, fiance, your team at work, communication is very important. And I've also said in the past that people don't read minds. I know I don't, and I don't believe anybody reads minds. So we have to communicate through the celebrations, through the challenges. I used to communicate through the celebrations, but when it came to a challenge, I'd keep it to myself. And that's not a good thing. More importantly is listening. Here's what I've discovered is that there are no classes. There's speech classes, but there's no listening classes. So where are you with learning? I'm not going to say I do all of these things that I'm describing perfectly, because there's always something to improve on, and that's the good thing. Is for myself, as I get older, I notice what works, what doesn't. So listening is another thing. I think very important is to stay grounded. I'm sharing with you what I think works for me or what has worked for me. Staying grounded. Don't get big-headed just because you're good at this or because you're good at that. So that's very important. No matter what, stay grounded, stay consistent, optimistic. I love this. I wake up and sometimes I'm tired and I have to drive a long distance to go to work, but I'm optimistic because I'm going to maximize each day, whether it's working out, whether it's just being at peace, whether it's doing a good job at work, whether it's our health. And staying optimistic is good. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you look at life or situations or challenges as the glass half empty or glass half full? I can tell you that when challenges come, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to learn from this situation and get the silver lining out of this situation so I can become a better individual. Laughter. I love YouTube. I don't really watch that much TV unless it's sports, but I like to laugh. And have you ever heard of this comedian called Pablo Francisco? He is on YouTube. I got a text a few weeks ago for free tickets to go see Pablo Francisco, my favorite comedian. He's wrong on some of the things that he says, but to me, I need an escape sometimes, and I like to laugh. If you actually knew me, person to person, you can tell that I like silliness. And somebody at work, a chief master sergeant, told me a few days ago that I come across as very serious at work. And I thought I was laughing inside because I'm not a serious person. I could say that more likely it's because I'm focused at work, because I'm trying to make sure that I understand what I'm doing, what the team that I work with is doing. But laughter is important. And I love silly, appropriate jokes. People used to ask me at my civilian job in the past, how does your wife put up with you? How do you do this at home? And I say, oh, I don't do this at home, because my playground was work where I can just have silliness, of course, get the job done, but have a good time at work as well. Now, that doesn't mean I don't joke around here at home with my wife or my children, because I do. They know me, I'm a silly individual. Learning, I've talked about that in the past. We can learn in life. It doesn't have to be in a classroom, but learning is great. I'm actually going to San Antonio, Texas, Randolph Air Force Base in a few days, and I'm going to be there for 2.5 days, right outside of Randolph Air Force Base. I'm going to be at Randolph, but I'll be staying off base. If you know my friend Joe, who was a TI, I'm going to catch up with him for dinner for one night. If you're at Randolph, let me know. Maybe we can meet up for a quick moment. But the next thing is friendships and relationships. That is success to me, is finding those treasures in your world, in my world, that we can meet up, even if it's for a quick dinner or something, or talk on the phone. I don't have to talk to my friends every day, and I don't for the most part. But it's those friendships, those relationships, whether it's your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, solid relationships, maybe your children as well. I'm going to try to put the intro of my son fishing a week ago, and then the ending of this video is going to be me fishing. We went out and we fished for an hour and a half, and it was so peaceful. Is finding time for those relationships. I'm a very busy individual in the sense that I have to work. We're empty nesters, but where are you in the sense that, are you doing things that you like to do for yourself? I like to do things for my family as well, but don't forget about yourself. As we do for others, which is a great thing, remember that we have to be in that equation as well. We have to do for ourselves. Sometimes there are things that people can't do for us. Work out, find that inner peace, and that is something that is very important. Take care of yourself. I'm only sharing with you what I do, is take care of myself as well. Know yourself. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. So for you to be a successful person at this or that, whatever that may be, is know your strengths and weaknesses and accept them. Accept yourselves. That's the next thing. So let me ask this, or say this. We as individuals often say, oh, I like him, oh, I like her, that's like I married him, that's like I married her. But do you like yourself? Do you accept yourself as you are? Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, good things and bad things, things that we do well, things that we can improve on. Don't ever forget that. And that you, just like myself, have to accept ourselves, love ourselves, not to the point of vanity. Here's a perfect example. Let's say you go to Instagram and you look at somebody's profile, and it seems that like 90% of the pictures are selfies. I think that's ridiculous. Nothing against an individual that does that, but I don't mean love yourself to the point where it's like, hey, look at me, every other picture or every picture is a selfie. grown-up problems. As we grow up, we have to deal with grown-up problems. I was watching TV last night with my wife, maybe 2020 or something like that, and they used the word grown-up problems in quotes. I say that. We as grown-ups, or you as an individual that will soon be a grown-up or already there, are going to have to deal with grown-up problems. That could be whatever it is. But that's part of life. That's part of a challenge. Deal with it, like I deal with it as well, and make the most of it. Life satisfaction, that's success as well. Wow, that's such an important topic as far as where are you with your life satisfaction? Hopefully the answer is, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on my way. Or the answer could be, I'm there. It's one of those things that we have to be proactive with life satisfaction. Enjoy the small things. Fishing. I went fishing with my son. My son likes to fish. He's an outdoors guy. And I hear all his stories. Oh, I went to this lake, or I went here, that. And because I said I'm busy, I had to find time to go and say, hey, I'm going to go fishing with you. And I bought my fishing license for a day. Next year in March, that time frame, I'm going to buy a year pass. It's cheaper that way, and I can go with him wherever instead of going back and forth. Enjoy the small things in life, because one day we may realize that the small things in life are the actual things that are the big things and that matter. Satisfaction. Are you in control of your life or the situation, your situation or situations? Hopefully the answer is yes. I like to be in control of my life and nobody else's life, but sometimes I'll come across an experience where I'm not in control, and I have to remember that sometimes I won't have control of other things. Appreciation of life, that's a success to me, whether it's a moment, whether it's a day, whether it's whatever it is, appreciation of life, of others as well. Success to me is not a status. It's not having X number of dollars in the bank or materialistic things. Success is all these things that I talked about. Where are we in our satisfaction of life, in our health, in our optimism, things like that. I like simplicity. To me, that's success. Simplicity as in enjoy who we are, where we're going, and the simple things in life. One more thing, balance. Balance is important. It's made me feel like a successful individual, because when I didn't have balance, I wasn't successful. Whether it was this, whether it was that, whatever that may be, that balance is important. These things that I talk about sometimes may come across as boring. I was like, wow, this guy's just, too uptight. And actually I'm not. I don't think you're thinking that, but if somebody were to say, hey, you're so uptight, it's the complete opposite. I have that balance where I like to laugh and joke and work and travel and do just a lot of things and learn and be in the moment, because sometimes in the past, I wasn't in the moment. I was always 5 years ahead thinking about this or thinking about that. And that's where my wife provided me that balance of like, hey, that's great that you have eyes on the future, but don't forget about today, because that's important. Here I am, 4 hours to myself. My wife works part-time on a Saturday, and I wanted to make this video. I also have 2 other YouTube channels. One of them, it's just jerseys. It's called Dead Red Ghosts. But Your Military Money is the channel that I love to spend time with and share my journey and answer questions. Then I have a 3rd channel, which I really haven't spent a lot of time on, but I'm going to start now. I'm learning languages. I'm learning French and a little bit of Italian, but I need to start doing more with that. And I'll put the link on my channels. It's called Je parle un peu, which means I speak a little. I know people have told me it's actually Je parle un petit peu, which is in French. I speak a little. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Success is up to you. Make it happen. Don't look at others and say, oh, that's success and this is not success. We can all be successful in different ways. And remember that, that's important. Accept yourself just like you accept others. Have a great day. If you can hear the music, let me know who you think this is. Great music. I don't know if you can hear it. Take care.